This is more Star Wars than Revenge of the Sith. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. And first of all, sorry, because I should have made this way before, like I did last week. But you know how it is. Life gets in the way. You gotta work. You gotta earn your bread, man. So was a busy week. So here we are, publishing on a Saturday. Well, I hope it gets any views at all. But well, you know how YouTube is. It's not gonna deter me. I don't do that for YouTube. I do this for you guys and for me. Why not? So anyway, this is more Star Wars than Revenge of the Sith, and this is not my phrase. I was paraphrasing Mr. Star Wars Theory, which is one of the main, if not the main, guy that actually knows about Star Wars ever, anywhere. So that's something. That's something to think about. From the desert comes a stranger. It's a 9 out of 10 episodes out of me. And you know it because this is a spoiler review and because you've watched it before. And if not, you should have. But one thing I can get into conclusion, and is that Cad Bane is still the meanest gunman in the West. Pardon me, Tatooine. Or even the galaxy. Why not? I see evolutionary the progression that we've noticed in the few last episodes, and it's that it feels like a completely different story. All the chats, all the panels have been talking about it, but we're tying up stories. This is Cobb Vanth of Vanth Refrigeration, let nobody tell you otherwise, plus Mando, plus Cad Bane. This is setting up the stages for an epic season finale. And I think that all whoever was skeptical at the beginning of the season, especially after episode 3, with point or without a point, will be pleasantly surprised, in my opinion. This episode is a mix of emotional Jedi story, which is one of the pillars of Star Wars, and badass Western narrative. That is completely Star Wars. That's what George Lucas came up in the original episode, and that's what we got ever since. So it's really fantastic, I think. It's really fantastic. So let's switch up to the tabs right here. And we start with Mr. Cobb Vanth, mean marshal of now, Freetown used to be called Mos Pelgo, but we've made a continuity record or something. I'll let people more into movies than me to tell me the exact terms, maybe in the comments. And he gets the Pikes red-handed, trading spies in the territory. Mental note. Leave no survivors next time, Cobb. That was your downfall, man. Anyway, cut away to Mando, because he's making a good on the promise to track down Luke and Grogu. He finds the planet where... He finds the planet where the Jedi Academy that we see in the sequels, or Jedi School, or whatever, was built. And I'm having a terrible flashback with these droids right here. Terrible, from KOTOR or Knights of the Old Republic, because they are building the whole thing themselves, unsupervised and everything. It's like, yikes. I mean, I'm already scared enough of spiders, but if you couldn't tell, but these guys are terrifying. So he finds R2, he leads him to the academy, fine. I say, wait. He says, wait. And he disconnects himself. That's so R2 thing, a very R2 thing to do. And this lovely lady appears. That's Ahsoka Tano, former disciple of Anakin Skywalker, if you didn't know her. And Mando is going to talk to her. Why are you here? What's going on? Yada, yada, yada. say, I'm here to give this chainmail to Grogu. And they go on debating the pros and cons of the attachment of the Jedi and everything. So in the end, she's going to convince Mando, just to leave the chainmail with him and let the Master decide how this gift will be delivered, which is not a bad thing. Not a bad thing, I guess, for Jedis, right? In the meantime, our little boy Grogu, he keeps on his Jedi training. And I love the sequence, I love the montage here, because it's very reminiscent of what Luke, which by the way is very well done in this episode, deepfake really pays off. And Grogu and Yoda had, if you remember, Empire Strikes Back, and then Return of the Jedi later. They had a training montage in the first movie, right? In Empire Strikes Back, I mean. They had this training montage, they spoke about stuff, and all this conversation, all this training is reminiscing of that. So it picks on, and it shows how the then student is now the master. Now he's supposed to teach. Then he'll say to Ahsoka later, oh, I'm more making it remember than actually training. Which is not too bad. Come on, give yourself some credit, Luke. Anyway, one impressive sequence that we see in this very short episode, because it's 35 minutes only. But wow, so dense 35 minutes, alright? Is a huge flashback to Grogu's perspective of Order 66 in the temple. See the mean legion, and I wasn't ready for that, man. I wasn't ready for that. It's impressive. I mean, others have tried to identify this Jedi protecting him, and it's maybe a master and his two Padawans. I'm not sure, but I'll say I'll leave the better ones for you. But well, what a freaking flashback, man! What a freaking flashback. So, when that is done, and we'll see this at the end of the episode, which is kind of, come on, man, it's Filoni, you're directing this episode and you leave us on a cliffhanger. I hate that. I have to live with that. And Luke is gonna basically set the choice. I mean, this is Yoda's lightsaber, could be yours, or you can pick up the chainmail and become a Mando. Because he feels he's not all in there, he's not all centered. We'll see how it goes. Maybe during Mando season 3, or maybe in the next episode. I wouldn't count that the next episode is all in there, because they have a lot to cover too. And you'll see why. You'll see why, right? Alright, so Mando leaves without seeing Grogu. We're all very sad, no reunion, but he did what he came to do, right? In the meantime, cut away to Tatooine, and Master Boba Fett may not be marching the episode, but he's not idle. He's planning for war. You really want to be covering that, guys? It's okay, though. It's okay, because they show what the things are coming. They know the Pikes are in numbers in Mos Espa, and they know they are after Boba's territory. And they know what's up, and it's pretty mean. It's pretty mean, if you ask me. Boba's planning. Mando comes to the palace. Little piggy Gamorrean goes in to receive him. And he says, we need muscle, and we need experienced muscle. And where have we seen it before? Maybe the Tusken? Not really, they're not much use fighting for anybody but themselves. Plus, Boba's tribe was completely annihilated by these guys. I still totally think it was the Pikes originally. Maybe they hired a biker gang, but it was the Pikes. They have to get square with this, with Boba Fett, right? So we'll see how that plays out. So Mando says, "Oh, I know somebody," and that somebody is kobath, Banth refrigeration, and the people of Tatooine as well, right? The people of Freetown, Mos Pelgu. But they're unsure. They're unsure. I mean, look at these two guys. They're simple people making their way in the galaxy, even if this guy has a ton of makeup to become a weak way. This photo's from Deadwood, by the way. He knows everyone from that show. Lots of great people. If you haven't seen it, do that because it'll surprise you. It's not your average Western. That's for sure. But Timothy Oliphant plays what he was born to play. A badass sheriff. And basically Cobb Vanth is kind of same character. Even if the original author may disagree. I read an article about it. He may disagree. Anyways, what happens that the people of Freetown don't want to fight, especially for this guy they don't know. I mean, they know him by reputation, but who is he? Why does he want to be the daimyo? So Cobb Vanth and the town are skeptical. Okay, so Mando said his piece, he leaves, and I wasn't ready for what happened next. I wasn't ready either way. There was the second I wasn't ready moment in this episode, which is incredible, let me say. This fella appears. Who is this fella? It's Cad Bane. Cad Bane has been in Filoni's works all over. In Clone Wars, check. In the first season of The Bad Batch, check. He was the meanest, badass bounty hunter after Jango Fett, if you consider. Otherwise, he would have been the model for the Clone Army, right? But he was the meanest, man. And he shows why he comes right out from the desert. He's the perfect Western sequence. The deputy on one side, Cobb Vanth on the other, says, "You are not going to mess with the Pikes anymore. You're not going to join Boba Fett on his little crusade." Man, his mother, he shoots the deputy like several times, so totally dead. Wow. And he wounds, I think he's wounded, Cobb Vanth. We don't get confirmation that he's alive, kind of, but no. And it's war, man. It's war. The Pikes are not taking any chances that these people are going to join in them. But by the look the barman threw at this guy at the end, I think we're going to see them come around to the idea of helping them. Because now it's personal. Now you've injured my people. And if Cobb Vanth survives, it's going to be a whole riot behind him. So we'll see. Maybe they appear, Mando style with the covert in season 1 when they appeared out of nowhere. That could be cool. I mean, they don't get jetpacks, I think. But and what else? What else? That wasn't it, no, because the end of the episode is literally the bomb. I wish I could laugh about that, but no. We see 2 Pikes walking in the Mos Espa cantina. I mean, Lady Twi'lek, she's suspicious, but she can throw them out. They're just chilling, and they come in with a package. So they leave. Almost immediately they leave, but they leave the package behind. Damn. The whole place is blown to pieces. And I don't think my lady survived. I hope Max Rebo dodged the bullet again. I really hope so. But this is war. This is the declaration of war from the Pikes to Boba Fett, saying, "I'm coming after your turf, and I don't care who dies in the way. I'm just gonna get you." And it's a little what Boba should have done at the beginning of the season. Not a bomb, literally, but a show of force. That's what we've been missing this whole season altogether, and that is why this is war, and that's why it's so important for Boba Fett to have some muscle behind. So we'll see, definitely. Now, this really sets up the stakes for the season finale, and I really can't wait, I tell you. Wednesday is gonna be a long week until then. My god. Anyways, that's pretty much the end of the episode. And I can't wait to hear your comments about it, because I've been watching a lot of stuff. Stay tuned, because on Monday we're going to be discussing, maybe live, I don't know, would be fun, some Mickey leaks. And yeah, because there's big rumors that Han Solo is going to be on the season finale. It was put up on Internet Movie Database. What happens that website, as long as you're pro and you pay, I think, you can add stuff in just like Wikipedia. Which, is it really? I mean, if the changes were public, that would be a good, show of accountability. But I don't think they are. So we know something was changed, but we don't know who did it. So it could have been Kathleen Kennedy, or never say her name 3 times in a row, by the way. It's like Beetlejuice. That happens, man. That happens a lot. So we don't know in the leaks what's gonna happen. I really hope either him or Emilia Clarke show. I don't know. I mean, it would be a lot over the budget, maybe, to have Mark Hamill and a man that absolutely despises Han Solo portraying him anyway in the roles in the same show. But when do I know? In the meantime, I really recommend you to catch up with the show if you haven't already, because it is something else. Robert Rodriguez, you hyped us. In some episodes we couldn't believe you because that episode 3 was trash, man. But for the rest, I'm pretty pleased with this show. So far, I'm not very sold on the whole of it because of the downsides of this season. But maybe we'll discuss the season as a whole later on. That could be fun. And another short video, and that's it. In the meantime, please click like, subscribe. I'll see you in the next episode, and of course, stay tuned for Monday. Let's have some fun together.